I'd like to welcome everyone to this very special and important evening, and it's so exciting to have all of you with us. If you could join us and stand and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and I'd like to ask Vice Mayor Kwok to introduce a couple of his special guests, one of who's going to do an invocation for us.
I'm asking Monsignor Joseph Malani from the St. Joseph of Cupertino Church to do the invocation, and Monsignor Malani has been with us for long times, many years, and he has been one of our family members. So I'm asking you to do the invocation.
We stand before you, God of all creation, conscious of our own unworthiness, but aware that we gather in your name. Come to our elected officials, remain with them, and enlighten their hearts. Give them light and strength to know your will, to make it their own, and live it in their lives. Guide them by your wisdom, support them by your power, for you are our God. You desire justice for all. Enable them to uphold the rights of others. Do not allow them to be misled by ignorance or corrupted by fear or favor. Unite them to yourself with the bond of love and keep them faithful to all that is true. As we gather in your name, may they temper justice with love so that all their decisions may be pleasing to you and earn the rewards promised to good and faithful servants. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. I'd like to start off by introducing some very special guests. You are all special guests, you should know that. But we have some special guests that I think we'd like to recognize because they represent a lot of us. And the first one is my very special friend and part of my family, Sheriff Lori Smith. And she brought with her some friends, basically our Chief of Police, Captain John Harakawa, Commander Dennis Bacon, Captain Kevin Jensen, I think he's in the back. Kevin, where are you? And Lieutenant Terry Caldron, he's also our local lieutenant. And we thank you very much for all coming. I feel so very safe now, you know. Forrest Williams, San Jose City Council member. Forrest is in the back. John McLemore from the Santa Clara City Council. John. Jose Hesteves, he's the mayor of Milpitas. Jose. Matthew Lee is here from the Taiwanese Trade Association.
Mark Neal.
Deputy Counsel, he's not here yet, okay.
Mark Neal is here. Mark Neal.
Oh, Mark Neal. Where are you, Mark? Oh, there he is. I see. And we have two former mayors of the city of Cupertino, Michael Chang and Barbara Rogers. And did I miss anybody? Okay. I missed somebody. We have, oh, you'll have to pronounce that. You do that one. I can't do that one.
We have Gui Su Zhang. He's the Deputy Consul General from the People's Republic of China. And also representing Councilmember Cindy Chavez is Jonathan Noble.
I'd like to start out this evening by
Judge Erica, yeah.
Judge Erica Yu. We're going to introduce you when you get ready to give the oath of office to Patrick. But why don't you stand up and let everybody know who you are. I'd like to start out this evening by just commenting on how very important this is to all of us. This is your seat of government. And these are your elected officials. You placed us all up here. We represent all of you and about 52,000 others. We try to do it to the best of our ability. Sometimes people agree, sometimes don't. But I think that overall, this is a pretty good group to be leading this city. Tonight, we will be saying goodbye to our current mayor. Not goodbye from office, but goodbye from mayor, and saying hello and swearing in a new mayor and a vice mayor. I want to just kind of walk you through a little bit what the process is. We will open nominations. I will open nominations for the mayor, and then we will have kind of a ceremonial goodbye to me. And you can all get up and say something. There are 2 times in this process where you can get up and talk and you don't have to fill out any cards, which is kind of a treat. And that's kind of after after the council talks about the outgoing mayor, it will be open to public comment, and you can get up, and we kind of informal at that time, pretty much just say kind of get up and get in a line or informally come and say what you need to say. When we do the same thing for our incoming mayor, whom I'm assuming will be Patrick, there will also be a time for public comment where you can get up and just wish him well and tell him, encourage him and tell him what a fine job you think he's going to do. If there are any other instances in the evening where there is debate, if there is a substantive debate on an agenda item from this council, then we will ask you to fill out the cards which are over here and on the door that you're all accustomed to at a regular council meeting, because that would be a more formal presentation, and hopefully that won't happen, but sometimes it does. And at that time, we'll ask you to fill those out and turn them in, and the mayor then would call people forth for public comment on that particular item, and you would have 3 minutes to speak. So just so y'all know, we hope the evening is just kind of casual and fun. It's supposed to be a positive evening for all of us and an evening of ceremonies. And having said that, I'm going to open the nominations for mayor.
I'd like to nominate Patrick Kwok.
Second. There's a nomination and a second for Patrick Kwok. Please vote. Now do we vote?
Motion carries unanimously.
Yay. No. You probably have to put that chair down like down a little high.
Your water here? Is that where's your?
That's what I'm thinking.
Mayor Kwok, would you like to take the oath of office at this time?
Yes, please.
Okay, if you would step forward in front of the dais, please, and Judge Yu, if you'd like to come forward.
Patrick, it's my pleasure and honor to administer the oath of office to you. So if you could please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Patrick Kwok,
I, Patrick Kwok,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the constitutions of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the constitutions of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the States of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this opportunity freely
and without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or any purpose of evasion,
or any purpose of evasion,
and that I will well
and I will well
and faithfully discharge
and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter
the duties upon which I am to be entered
for the city of Cupertino.
for the city of Cupertino.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge Erica Yu. Thanks again. And it's nice to see so many of you here tonight. We thought we moved to this new community center or council chamber. We thought it was small, but I think we thought it was really big. But when we look at it today, it's packed. So I think we might need another council chamber. I think it's my first line of duty is to present the outgoing mayor gift. And Sandy, would you please come to the podium?
Hey, Patrick, I have a gift for you first. This is something you definitely need to lead this group. Some nights you need it more than other nights, and tonight it's yours.
On behalf of the City Council and the community, and with true heartfelt sincerity, I would like to thank you, Mayor James, for a great year of strong leadership. Your energy, passion, and upbeat approach to everything impacted our city in many, many positive ways. What a great year we had under your strong leadership. 2004 was a year of great challenges. The recession, hampered by our economic engine, coupled with the state deficits, has left us trying to provide the same level of service that our residents expect and fully deserve. Despite the fact that we lost $3.something million of local tax revenue, we have accomplished great things. We have completed the $24 million library and civic center, and we also completed the ADA requirements and various modifications and upgrades, such as the teen center at our sports center, on time and within budget, thanks to the great work of our staff and the council. Other accomplishments limited are as follows. Building and naming of the Calimil Plaza is something that is so dear to you. Annexing of Monte Vista, I think we went through without any problem. It was a really smooth transition, thanks to your leadership. Maintaining the same level of public safety and continue to provide the school resource officers in our school. And that is marvelous and fantastic, despite that we have a big budget problem. I can characterize you in many ways, but most importantly, 4 areas. Number 1, youth. And second, economic development. Thirdly, affordable housing. And fourthly, but not least, cultural understanding. As an advocate of youth, you have a strong passion and commitment to youth, providing the teen center at the sports center, the mobile skateboard park, tomorrow leaders of today, and the Teen Academy. And tonight, I think I saw a former graduate of the Teen Academy here today, or Teen Commissions here tonight. You also is a strong supporter of economic development to encourage, retain, and support healthy environment for retail growth. In 2004, Council approved projects expanding the retail space by more than 80,000 square feet. Several additional retails are in the pipeline, adding more than 137 square feet at the Rose Bowl, the 16 cinema screen at Valco, and about another 100,000 square feet at the HP property. This is in the pipeline now. Sandy has also brought in Borland software to the city center. She certainly has the edge and the willingness to make decisions that need to be made and get results. She transfers challenges into opportunities and dreams into reality. She has also championed affordable housing. She has worked very hard to promote affordable housing opportunity to Cupertino workers, completing the CCS 24 units and working very closely with the Santa Clara County Housing Trust Home Owner Association and Assistance Program to provide housing assistance to Cupertino teachers and also other public services. And she is also, finally, she has a very strong passion to promote cultural understanding and address the needs of our diverse community. She is a mayor of many, many talents. She participates in many fundraising and cultural events, such as the Indian Festival of Diwali, the Moon Festival, and where she was a bride to Gary McClure in a traditional Chinese wedding ceremony. Additionally, she also emceed the St. Joseph of Cupertino School talent show. And most recently as a couple of weeks ago, you emceed the organization of special needs fundraising. And in addition to that, she also participated in the talent show in which she wore a typical Chinese emperor dress.
Very nice.
Very, very formal. And I looked at her, I said, Sandy, you grew a couple of inches. And she was wearing her own shoes and also the big shoes. And I looked at the shoes, I said, it is a really big shoes that I have to fill as a coming mayor. So on behalf, I can go on and on and on. And I would like to thank you for your strong leadership. Cupertino is a city of solutions, and therefore its future is very, very bright under your leadership and also under the current City Council. And I want to thank you for your strong leadership and on behalf of the City Council and the residents of Cupertino. It is my pleasure to present you with a city gavel first. And this signifies that you were the mayor of Cupertino 2003 and 2004. And a gift from the City Council.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And a plaque. Sandra James, in recognition of her 2 terms as mayor, December 2nd, 2004. Once again, thank you very, very much for your time.
Thank you, Patrick, for your fine words. He stole my speech, you know. He kind of went through everything that happened this year, and that's what I was going to talk about. Patrick has worked really hard to prepare himself for mayor, so it is such a good feeling just to kind of pass the gavel on to someone that you know is going to do a good job. And it makes it so much easier. You know that, Michael, you're shaking your head. It makes it so much easier to do that when you know that you're putting it in the hands of someone that has worked hard to prepare themselves and has got their heart in the right place, knows what's the right thing to do, and has the courage to take those kinds of tough stands, because that's what it takes. Your words are very humbling. I really appreciate them. Can I get a copy of your speech? And I'm going to save some of my comments for later. Thank you very, very, very much.
And I think I have a short presentation to make, and I'll have to make a couple of comments. I don't get to comment on the mayors very often, but on behalf of the staff, we wanted to present Sandy with this clock. Sandy has no sense of time. There's no limit to the amount of time that she puts in, and so we want to give you this clock so you can keep track of it a little bit better. And it says Mayor Sandra James on it. I'll set it on the podium if you like. And yeah, we can remind the speakers here if we set it here. I wanted to say 2 quick things. Patrick has covered many of your exploits. I wanted to say something on a more personal note. Sandy is a person who has suffered many tragedies in her life. And rather than being a person who feels sorry for herself and is crushed by those tragedies, she's been much stronger because of them. And more importantly, she has taken those experiences and served other people, hundreds of people, with those experiences, and has made enormous changes in many, many lives. And I suspect there are people in this room who can personally attest to that. The other thing I wanted to say about her is she is relentless as a mayor and as a council member. I come in reasonably early, but I can't get there ahead of her phone calls to me. And the record was recently reached when I got the 11:30 phone call, followed by the next message on my message machine, no one else called in between, at 4:30 a.m. with Sandy, with a few more little tidbits to follow up on. So I want to thank you for everything that you do for the community. Appreciate that.
You know, it is absolutely an honor to work with Dave Knapp and the senior staff, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But one of the real treats for me, in addition to being an extraordinary city manager with a great deal of knowledge about city government, is he has a spiritual basis that I need in my life. And it is so nice for me to be able to reach out and touch him in that way, as well as all the other ways. It's just kind of an extra bonus. Thank you for your kind words.
Thank you, Sandy. The next item on the agenda is to ask council members offer the thanks and comments to outgoing mayor, and followed by public comments. Any council member wants to? Richard, you want to start?
Absolutely. You know, when you're mayor, you really would love to get something done during your year. And I think there's nothing more on your mind than accomplishing something. And as anybody out here knows, when they deal with the government, it's not so easy in government to get anything done. It tends to take time. It takes diligence. It takes follow-up. Whether you're out there in the public trying to get your house project approved, or whether you're on the inside, an elected official. Sandy has a spectacular record of accomplishment during her year as mayor. Those have already been outlined, but you know, we're going to be proud of these accomplishments for years to come. There's a legacy here, and you only have a year. You have 12 months to get something done. Sandy gets things done, and that's the way I will remember her as mayor. The biggest capital project in our history, and you're right here in the middle of it. And it is more than this project itself is more than just a capital project. It's the heart of our city. And Sandy took it on as a big part of her agenda to deliver more than a few buildings here, but a gathering place for you. And I think she's accomplished that, and I think it will be a lasting legacy to Sandra James, the mayor of Cupertino. Sandy is articulate, and that's a requirement to get things done in government. You have to be able to express yourself, and if there is no other personal attribute of Sandy that I hear commented on the most, it's absolutely that she's articulate, that she helps the people of Cupertino understand the issues. And whether you agree with Sandy or you don't on an issue, you know where she stands, and you know why she stands there and why she votes the way she does. I think that's something that you should all demand out of us, and I think it's something that Sandy delivers. Sandy, as any of you know that have had anything to do with her, especially if you have, as I have, been on the opposite side of an issue from time to time, has a lot of courage. She has the courage of her conviction. If she believes something is right, she will not be moved off of that. And she may take some personal hits, which I've witnessed. I've seen people go after Sandy because they disagree with her on a policy issue. They'll go after her in a personal way. It's nasty business, but it doesn't ever keep Sandy away from the courage of her convictions to do what's right for you. And you all really owe her some gratitude for that. She pays an enormous price, as we all do, but she has, during the last year, paid an enormous price in accepting criticism, not taking it personally and not going after people, but instead just sticking to the knitting and getting her accomplishments done. Sandy is responsible for leading our council and our city and our staff to those accomplishments. She doesn't do them herself. She didn't lay the carpet. But it is a skill of leadership that is very rare that gets these things done and gets these projects done on time. And yes, there are a lot of contributors to projects done on time and under budget. But in the end, leadership has a tremendous leverage over those things happening. They don't happen without somebody at the helm that knows how to get things done, how to work with people, how to inspire people, how to lead people. Leading people isn't telling people what to do, it's convincing them that's the right thing to do, and that's what Sandy does best. And let me say also that Sandy has a vision for the city, and the vision for the city is not something you do in a year. You do your little piece of it. She has a piece of it. Patrick will follow on with his piece of that. But there's a vision of what happens to the city over 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And Sandy is part of that vision. So through her leadership and her vision, she gets more done than what you see done in a year. With as great as accomplishments as those are, there is a legacy of leadership that Patrick will rely on and the rest of the council will rely on as we move forward. So I think it's quite important to have a visionary leader who thinks more than their year. It would be too selfish just think about your year, and you can't accuse Sandy of being selfish. Finally, a more personal note for me, given my stature, and I think Patrick may appreciate this too, Sandy absolutely proves that great things come in small packages. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard. I'm very humbled by your kind words.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Chris Wayne.
Well, there's a disadvantage to talk after Richard. He's such a good talker. It's good. I mean, it covers most of them. All I had was said, really, I agree 100% with Richard just said. And one thing I wanted to, before I said something, I wanted to remind you guys, we're not here just to celebrate the outgoing mayor and incoming mayor. I want to remind you that it's my first anniversary sitting here. And I know you folks aren't coming here for my celebration, but I'm honored. I'm going to take a little bit from there, and I wanted to share why I'm sitting here with a big smile on my face, because this year wasn't easy. It was quite tough, but I'm so glad that I have 4 seniors here that I can follow, especially the outgoing mayor, Sandra James. I think everybody have heard, especially Sandra, you have heard a lot of time I said, is that normal? Is it normal? This is a council? And I was nervous. I was up and down, and next day, boom, it's like magic. Sandy covered it and worked well, and it's like, great leadership. And I learned a lot. I'm so lucky that I sit right next to Mayor this year, and I learned a lot just right next to her. And sometimes I feel jealous to my colleague because compared with my colleagues, their overlapping time with Sandy was much more year than me. But looking from the other side, I feel lucky too. I do have a chance to work with Sandy, and especially under her leadership this year. And I really learned a lot. I can't go detail as Richard did, because I'm following that too. I feel like rewind the movies and going through the whole years, and I really bring back those memories that, the opening of Sports Center, the opening of the library, the opening of this community hall, and everything. It wasn't easy. None of them are easy. And I don't even know anybody else, especially. I don't think I can do that, but I saw so easily Sandy taking care of everything, and like Richard says, she took the criticism, and she defends for the city, she defends for the college, she defends for staff. She handled it so well, and all that, and just something that, gosh, it's the asset that I'm so glad that I have a chance to learn and to inherit from her. So, Sandy, thank you for your leadership this year, and I'm honored to be your colleague.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much.
Councilwoman Dolly Sandoval.
Ditto.
I know Patrick stole your speech. I think Patrick probably stole five speeches up here tonight. But Sandy, I want to go through a couple of things. You and I have known each other for a number of years, going back to my time at Foothill De Anza and your time on the Cupertino School Board. And I think in all those years of public service, you have given more time, been more committed, been more passionate about building bridges between a number of different groups. And I think you spearheaded the Teen Commission. You certainly, in my focus here on the council, spearheaded the Teen Center location. We haven't quite got that skate park yet, but at least we have a mobile skate park. And then, of course, the Sports Center, Library, Calumet Plaza, are big projects that we were able to celebrate under your leadership and your tenacity to get these projects built. Some of the more I think personal involvement that you've had in this community is with an organization of special needs families. The leadership that you have shown to them and the help that you have given to them to get them off the ground has been tremendous. Working with the Indo-American community on helping to secure that cricket field was a huge step for a growing population in our city. And then not also focusing on new endeavors and new projects and new organizations, but making sure that the Cupertino Chamber of Commerce had a rightful place in many discussions that we've had, whether it's on economic development or whether it's on our general plan task force, et cetera. So it's not that you're just making new friends and new connections along the way. You're also reinforcing the connections that you had when you got originally elected here to the City Council, and that you have furthered their causes. You've also faced some family difficulties this year, and in light of that, I think many people in the audience and in TV land probably don't truly understand what it takes to be a council member, and the hours and the commitment that you have, and really, I think, if you do understand that, may not truly understand what it takes to be a mayor, because you're asked to speak at a number of events, more so than the rest of us. You're asked to open more buildings, more offices, more parks, etc. And Sandy, you've always given your time willingly. On that note, we get a small stipend here for serving on the City Council. And I think, Sandy, I don't know exactly how many hours you put into this job, but I think if you were to pencil it out, I think the city's getting a hell of a deal, because you're probably getting about maybe 6 cents an hour doing this kind of work.
That's right, true.
And I know that because I too get emails or phone calls from you at different hours, like the city manager and I'm sure everyone else. But my email doesn't wake me up, thank goodness. But Sandy, you really have, I think, led this council this last year over a number of projects and a number of issues that could easily have made us want to all just roll up our sleeves, take our marbles, and go home. And we stayed here, and we've had some very short meetings under your tenure, and we've had some very long meetings, and we've opened up that discussion and said we're really going to hammer out these issues before we leave tonight. And that speaks to your commitment to making sure that the future of Cupertino, not just this year, but throughout the rest of its future, is really what you're holding in the highest esteem. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Paula.
Thank you, Councilwoman Sandra. The next one is to ask public comments to the outgoing mayor. Any members of the public who would like to make some comments? You don't have to fill out a card, just come up here.
Line up.
And maximum is 3 minutes. But
I stood in this one before. It's lovely. Well, what can I say? It's all been said. I can simply say thank you, thank you, thank you, with a kind of a lump in my throat. I've had many favorite mayors. I get a new favorite mayor every time. So, Patrick, you'll take your place as favorite mayor very, very quickly, I'm sure. I've known Sandy a long time. I first met her when she was indeed in charge of something called Measure A, the school bond. It was a wonderful experience. I worked very hard, but I had the time of my life. And I thought, gee, if this is the political scene, it's certainly not what some people have said it was. And I want to watch this lady. She really knows how to do her job and how to treat volunteers. Well, I guess that's true. It still is. And I want to thank all of the City Council people and all the people here who have known and loved Sandy as I have for a long time. And it really seems a short time, a really short time. It's only yesterday or the day before, but I've been on Earth for a long time. So with that, thank you, Sandy, for introducing me to what is really a wonderful chance to participate with the city of Cupertino.
Thank you, Mavis.
Welcome.
I want to be Mavis when I grow up.
Mayor Kwok, thank you for the opportunity.
Who is this lady? Oh my God.
I'm a professional mayoral double. For those of you who have been wondering how Sandy can go to so many night meetings and then manage at 7 in the morning to be at a restaurant whose name we won't mention, let me you in on a little secret. And Mayor Kwok, you may want to know about this too. It's important to have a good mayoral double. Tonight represents the end of my career, maybe literally.
I want to see. Does she have a short skirt on?
But it hasn't been all bad. It's true that while Sandy was hanging out at the teen center, I was at the Silicon Valley Manufacturing Group. And it's true that Sandy was at the skateboard park while I was at the Santa Clara Valley Cities Association, those boring meetings with Dave. But there are some perks because, as you've probably figured out by looking around the room, Sandy has a lot of relationships in this community and people respond. So I want to tell you about a little accident I had during her first term as mayor. Now, I was a mayoral double rookie at the time and didn't really understand all the perks that come with the job. And I was driving Sandy's Volvo, her red Volvo. You might remember her old car, very sturdy automobile. And I'm in Saratoga when this happens. I get rear-ended by a man in an old Toyota pickup truck. Nothing wrong with, stopped at a light. He runs into me. Nothing wrong with the Volvo, not a scratch. The front of the Toyota looks like a beer can. It's been smashed. Car's probably totaled. Whip out the cell phone, call City Hall to say I'm going to be late for a meeting. That sets the reaction in motion. The Sheriff's Department was located on the first floor of City Hall at that time, and the response went out. 5 squad cars get to Saratoga in record time. The paramedics are notified. County Fire arrives. 2 engines. There's a street closure and hugs all around. Meanwhile, the man with the demolished automobile, the demolished truck, is getting kind of pale because he realizes that I, or actually Sandy, is somebody important, and he turns to me and says, "Lady, who are you?" And I said, "I'm Sandra James, the mayor of Cupertino." And he said, "I'm so glad I didn't hit you in Cupertino." So with that, former Mayor James, thank you for the memories. And to Mayor Kwok, all the best for a very good year. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Therese Smith, our Director of Parks and Recreation, and that's a true story, by the way, except my double wasn't there, I was there. Thank you, Therese.
This is a real honor for me to be here tonight because so many of you have said how outstanding Sandra is, how beautifully she speaks, how well she communicates, how great she is in debate, because you see, I'm a former debate coach.
That's right. Fremont High School.
Fremont High, and I was there, though. I started, and I have one bit to argue with you on. You let me down. In 1948, I came, made $2,000 a year, and I didn't get any affordable housing. And it was rough. Other than that, Sandra, I'm extremely proud of you. I want you people to know I only had the opportunity to have her for 1 year because she transferred in. But in that 1 year, she was one of the outstanding extempors and debaters in the entire state of California. Very proud of you, lady.
Thank you, Carmen Dan. Special, special lady.
Mark McKenna, I represent the Cupertino Chamber of Commerce, and I'd like to ask Councilwoman James if she'd step forward. Over here.
See how well I behave?
Ladies and gentlemen, you are witnessing a monumentous occasion. This is the first time Councilwoman James and I have looked each other square in the eye. No, those just go with my tie. Oh. We, not all the time, agreed with Mayor James, but she was always there to listen to us, and we appreciate that. We always came away with at least an agreement to disagree. We got to sit down and talk to you and tell you what we felt, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can have the flowers.
I'm Eleanor Watanabe with the Cupertino Educational Endowment Foundation, and I wanted to take this opportunity to congratulate you, Sandy, on an exceptional year. Not only an exceptional year, but I want to thank you for your steadfast support for education in our local schools over the years. And also thank you for your leadership in building bridges across the community. We're all much better and stronger thanks to you. Thanks.
Thank you, Eleanor.
Sandy, I brought your little friend Jonathan here. I don't think we need to mention more about Sandy's leadership, but the very important thing I remember Sandy is the first mayor I ever hugged in my life. We remember Sandy as a friend of the community, as a friend of people coming from China, as a friend of people coming from India, as a friend of people coming from Korea, from all over the place. Sandy is a friend of everyone in this community. And everybody is praising the wonderful education system in Cupertino. That is great, but we still know that there is a community of people, special needs families and their children, that Sandy has a dear heart and a strong passion toward them. And I will always remember Sandy's friendship and her love toward the people who are in need. So today, Jonathan is going to give you a flower.
Oh.
Kiss.
Mayor James, Council, Dave, Ralph. Sandy, I come here tonight because your first term as mayor was really great. Your second term as mayor was impeccable. Ralph had a dream on a piece of paper of a beautiful library and a beautiful city council chambers. And through your leadership and the leadership of this council, and Dave Knapp and Ralph, this vision of Ralph's became true. And it took a great leader to be able to do this. And I think that in the future, I hope that your leadership and your style will guide the future mayors of this town in the right direction. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your help to us employees in this beautiful city. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi.
I think it's a day of people stealing people's speeches, and I think Chihuahua just walked off with the words I had to say. But anyway, it was very well said, and I quite second that Sandy is a mayor of every community. And we feel very honored and privileged to have Sandy as a mayor of Cupertino. And she has been a great inspiration and support for our community, and our community is very grateful and thankful for that. And as the gentleman before me said, that we would like that you leave this legacy and the style of working and dedication to Patrick, who I'm sure is going to be a great mayor too, and we look forward to working with him too, and the city council too. Thank you very much, Sandy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michael Gottwall. I'm a good friend of Sandy's, Mayor Sandy James. Her good friend Michael Lassen, her son Justin, and her daughter Amber. And I'd like to read something for Sandy James. I would like to take this opportunity to thank outgoing Mayor Sandra James for outstanding mayorship and leadership and dedication and service to the residents of Cupertino. Thanks for all you did for the youth of Cupertino. We appreciate that you care about the youth in Cupertino, in honoring the youth and me for our accomplishments and successes in Cupertino with proclamations from you and the Cupertino City Council. The youth, and I would like to salute you, Mayor Sandy James, on your outstanding 2 terms as mayor. You are a hero, mentor, and an inspiration to us all. Cupertino would not be what it is today if it would not have been for Sandy James. We wish her the best as Cupertino City Council person, and we welcome new Mayor Patrick Kwok and wish him the best. And thank you very much for everything you've done, Sandy.
Sandy, I want to take this opportunity to formally thank you for being my second mother. Sorry. You mean so much to me, Sandy. Sorry. I met you during a very difficult time in my life. And you saw that. First time I met you, you sat there and you wanted to know what was going on in my life and the issues I had. And you gave me the inspiration to do the things that I was able to do. I was a teen commissioner, vice chairman of that. I was on the skate park committee. We got the teen center that I'm very proud of. I've been hearing raves about it. I wish that we could have had that when I was here. But you're not only a mother to me, you're a mother to this community, as I'm sure many people can attest to. You give yourself to a lot of people, and that's what makes you such a great leader. Not the things that you do in the public eye, but the things you do behind the scenes. I just want to thank you for that.
I just want to say thank you on behalf of 2 different entities. One, as chair of the De Anza Commission, at De Anza College and on the foundation board for the De Anza and Foothill Colleges. I want to thank you for your support and all that you do for not only the lower education, the high schools and the elementary schools, but also for your support of De Anza Community College. And then on behalf of myself, I just want to thank you for your personal friendship and all that you do to support everyone in this community. You will be missed as mayor, but at least you'll still be on the council, and we're glad for that. Thank you.
Francis. Thank you.
Sandy, we are so proud of you. Good job. You and the council member has accomplished so much during the last year. Besides the accomplishment, there's always this kind of elegance and also the honesty and integrity behind it. We are very proud of you. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Chester.
Hi, I'm Lori Smith. I'm your sheriff. And I'd like to make two just very brief separate comments, if I may. First of all, at the Sheriff's Office, we really appreciate your support and your appreciation for the fine job that the men and women of the Sheriff's Office do. I thank you very much for that. You've been a great advocate, and certainly you're a wonderful leader for the city, but also for public safety. On a second note, I'm actually relieved to see today that you have a double, because I wondered how you did it without. I think you must actually have a triple and a quadruple, but personally, you've become a great friend. You're a friend to many here. Your capacity to reach out to people who have needs is extraordinary. Thank you.
I'm Lucia Wu, new resident of Cupertino, and president of the Moon Festival of Silicon Valley. I just want to share that, Sandy, you are the most supportive mayor that during the past many years, well, 6 years of Moon Festival. I remember the first year when you were the mayor, because you are the most petite person in Cupertino, that's why we picked you to be the bride, because there are 4 men going to carry you on the carriage. So I didn't know that, it will bring the festival to another level. And you not only participate physically, but you pay highly respect to the Chinese community. In the festival, during the wedding ceremony, you kowtow 6 times on stage. In case you don't know what kowtow is you knelt on your knees and bow your head to the ground. And you did that to the parent, who prayed your parent and your husband's parent, at the park. And this is really, really impressive, and it gives the highest respect to the Chinese community. And then one year, I'm so surprised of your talent. You're doing the fan dancing, and just a very short lesson, and you do this ribbon fan dancing. I still don't know how you could pick up steps so fast and look so professionally, and it's just really amazed me. And then this year, well, guess what Sandy did? She sings Chinese opera. I don't know if you have a picture to show that you are in this Peking opera costume and sing in our events. And this is really, really impressive. We thank you so much. And also there's another thing I want to share with you. You're not just a mayor to do big things, not just cutting ribbon, but our Mayor Sandy James do a lot of small things. In one of the community service that I am member with, the Rotary Club of Cupertino, every year we have Christmas shopping with the kids. And then every year you take the time to go to this event to take the less fortunate kids in Cupertino to spend a morning to shopping with them. And then after shopping, we get to have some cookies and milk in the rest area. And I saw that you have that Asian girl, you know, laying in your arms, sleeping. So comfortable. So, you know, you're not Mayor Sandy, you're also Mommy Sandy. And it's really, I feel your passion, you know, your support and passion in every way, in many ways. Thank you very much, Sandy. I have a personal gift for you. I think this is the best things United States could offer.
Oh.
Open it, open it. This is real. It's real, okay? Yeah.
So don't go wrapping holiday presents with it, okay? I haven't been in here before. This is really neat. My name is Barbara Fielden, and I used to be on the Cupertino Union School District Board. And that, I was raised to that position with Sandy's hand. She raised me there. I followed her. I watched her. I sat in the audience, which they don't have good chairs. These are good chairs. They don't have good chairs. Sat in those chairs week after week after week and watched Sandy and the rest of the board. And, you know, it was neat to watch her as she accomplished great things with caring there, and watch her come here and seem to come up with even more energy and do great things here. And so I came tonight because I thought, okay, so we've done that, and I know you're going to still be on the city council, but if we keep growing this energy exponentially, I mean, are we going to have our own little nuclear reactor going on here or something? You know, what else are you going to do? I can't wait to see. And I'm really grateful for the mentoring you've done for me, for all the good that you've done, not only for the citizens of Cupertino in this position, but for all the kids when you were on the school board. Thank you.
My name is Lynn Faust. I'd like to congratulate Mayor Kwok and especially thank Sandy. Many comments have been made this evening about the major accomplishments that have happened within our city this year. I'd like to thank you for at least a couple of the behind-the-scenes or smaller things. Within a very short period of time, a phone call, Sandy was ready to meet with people when we had a major concern on the west side. She continued to offer her support all the way through that, the ongoing meetings and our worrying, and never said she was too busy or had too many meetings to accommodate us. I think that a strong measure of a person is how they deal with major challenges. You certainly proved yourself true to the medal on that score this past year. I think you're the kind of woman who always sees the glass half full rather than half empty. And with our budgetary concerns this year and the declining sales tax revenues, et cetera, that was such a wonderful attitude, a can-do attitude to make our city an ongoing, growing, and positive place. So I just wanted to say thank you so much. The good news, as Richard has so ably demonstrated to us, that we'll have the benefit of your experience this year as well as all the previous years to continue to serve and provide us with your wisdom and experience and your energy. Thanks, Sandy.
Are there any other public comments? Seeing none, I'll ask Sandy, our outgoing mayor, to make some comments.
I can't stand to sit behind a desk or stand behind a podium, and I'm just absolutely incredibly overwhelmed and touched by all of your comments, including those of my colleagues. And I'm not going to do what I was going to do. I was going to go through all the accomplishments with them this year, but you've heard about them. And so I'm not going to do that. But I would like to introduce some people you haven't met yet. You've met a lot of people that are near and dear to me, but there's two guys in this room that are kind of like my two guys. And there's the core of my life. So I'd like to embarrass both of them and give them some credit for, this is the kind of job, and the rest of you up here will nod when I say this, you cannot do it without the support and love of your family and your loved ones. You know that, Michael, too. You know, it's impossible to do. If you don't have a supportive family and you don't have someone to care for you and to love you, someone you can talk to, it doesn't work. So anything that I've accomplished as your council person or your mayor, these two gentlemen have a piece of it. And the one I am the most incredibly proud of is my son, Justin. Please stand up. My son, Justin, who is a senior at the University of San Francisco and going to graduate in June. Thank you, God. And he's a local boy. Grew up in Cupertino and went to school here and to Kennedy, Monte Vista, De Anza. Now he's up in the city, but he is always here for me. And he lives that life that somebody talked about where, you know, the challenges in life are what define your character and how you work yourself through those challenges and how you get onto the same thing and what you take with you along the way. And my son is just a living model of that premise. I believe in it, and I am delighted to have him here tonight. He came from San Francisco just to be here for me. Thank you, Justin. He'll kill me later, you realize that, don't you? And then there's my guy. You probably all know him, and he's been around for a long time, and I don't know what I would do without him. And certainly this year, he has walked the walk with me every step of the way, gives me guidance, gives me a spiritual base, gives me lots of love and affection, and it's returned. And he's a big part of this city, too, Michael Lashin. Anything that I accomplished as mayor, I accomplished with this team behind me, and also with an incredible staff. And I am a believer that you elect me, you elect us, to represent you, and we are not professional municipal government professionals. We are not. We didn't go to school. We didn't learn how to run a city. You know, we're supposed to take your soul and your desires, and we're supposed to give some leadership to set policies and budget and to hire the best staff to implement them. Well, you have the very best staff that there is around, and I am absolutely delighted to work with them. There are three in particular that I've spent a lot of time with this year, so I'm going to start with them. Because we worked really hard on a lot of projects. We especially worked really hard on the library plaza in this community hall. So I hung out a lot with Dave Knapp and Ralph Qualls and Rick Kitson and Terry Green, our architect, who's in the back of the room. And we sort of became, I think, like the Four Musketeers. And I knew them well to start with. At the end of the year, I knew them better. They are consummate professionals. We had about every boulder thrown in our way that you could have along the way this year, starting with budget, you know, impacts and things that I'm not going to elaborate now. But while we met every one of those challenges, we never stopped moving forward. And thanks to Ralph and Dave's leadership, we kept moving forward on schedule, on time, and under budget in this incredible day and age. So I just am delighted to have been a teeny part of that. But Ralph Qualls, our Public Works Director, Dave Knapp, our city manager, and Rick Hitson, who's our public information officer. And you may not know, but that's the person you need along that whole way with you, too, have just been absolutely wonderful to work with this year. And I couldn't have done anything without their help. So please, thank you all very much. You met Therese. She does a wonderful impression of me. I understand she went in Halloween a couple years ago. Was probably one of the few mornings I wasn't at my table at Hobie's, and she went in on Halloween Day dressed up as me. And I was so I was so disappointed. I missed that whole performance. She came in there and kind of pulled it off. Kim Smith is our clerk, and she keeps us all, you know, in line up here. And probably as mayor, I touch base with her at least once a day. Chuck Killian keeps us legal. And I'm nothing if I'm not challenging folks. You know, it's kind of like, I think I'm fun to work with, and I have a lot of energy, you've heard that. But I do realize I'm a bit challenging. And so I think all of this staff, including Linda Lagergren, where's Linda? Linda, who's my secretary, all of our secretary. Now this gal deserves a bottle of wine from all of you. To put up with me for a year. I think she's lost 20 pounds. They've all lost weight, lost a little bit of their hair. And, oh, where is Carol? Is Carol Atwood here? I didn't see Carol. Where's Carol? Carol keeps us on budget. And stand up, Carol. Carol Atwood. And there are 3 people you cannot see, but who I adore. They make me look good. They give me good advice. You guys like my State of the City address, and you like the way I talk, Carmody. I always say, well, you know what? These poor guys, I drive them nuts because they want you to stand still on this square right here. Do you see this little square here? I mean, I don't do that. And I like to punt and speak extemporaneously, and whatever I do, wherever I go, they are just there with me, and I just adore them. Pete and Ray and Nitty, and they're over there, but they're running this show. Thank you, guys, please. They are so talented and so young. So this year, we kind of started in a bad place about a year ago. The city was kind of having some problems. There were a lot of misunderstandings and a lot of anger. And about a year ago, we all sat here and we made a commitment as a council that we were going to raise the level, and we were going to be a professional group, and we were going to get things done, and we were going to work together in a way that you could be proud of. I hope you've been proud of us this year, because I think this council's worked very hard to do that job, and I have been proud to work with all of them this year. I just want to say thank you to all of you, because I am so proud of this community. The things that we've accomplished this year, and they are a culmination of years before us too, are just incredible. Given all the things that have come before you this year, in your personal life, in your community life, in your relationships, whatever, the fact that the city's moved forward, that they've done what you've asked us to do, that they've done it with a great deal of enthusiasm and honesty and integrity, and I do believe are building a city that is a part of all of you. I am delighted to just have been a little bitty part of it. Thank you very much for everything you've said and for all the help you've given me, because all I do is your work. That's what I do. I can't do it without you. Thank you.
As you can see, I think Sandy is a very, very popular mayor. I want to just reverse the orders a little bit, start off with my comments before we go into election of the vice mayor. I want to introduce my family first, because last time when I was sworn in, I almost forgot to introduce my family. So tonight I'm going to start it first. And I want to introduce my wife, Susan. And she has been a very, very strong supporter of me for the past so many years, and she even stayed up every night when I had my council meeting, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Thanks again for your strong support and your love. And that we're very blessed that we have 6 children, and I'm going to embarrass them by just introduce them, each one, and my grandchildren. First of all is my daughter, Patty. And my son-in-law, Robert. And my two grandchildren, Melanie and Stevens. My son, Kenneth Kwok, who flew all the way from LA here. Yeah. And his wife, Christina, and granddaughter, Emily, could not be able to hear today because Christina is expecting another baby. My daughter, Karen, and son-in-law, Derek Chan, right there. And their two children, my two grandchildren. The thing right there is Angel and Kevin. And they live in Cupertino. I'm really proud to say that. And then my daughter, Claudia, and son-in-law, Eric. They are also from Cupertino. And my daughter, Candice Kwok, and her fiancé, Brandon Smith. And last but not least, my daughter Stacy, youngest daughter Stacy, and son-in-law Mo Palmer. And these are my members of families that give me a lot of support in my years. And I want to thank Judge Erica Yu for coming here tonight and to do the oath of office, and I appreciate that. And also I want to thank Jose Mayor Estevez, I think from City of Milpitas. We came a long way, and I know his brother working for the City of San Jose and his wife working for Kaiser with my wife, so thanks very much for coming. And my good friend, John McLemore from Sunnyvale, and from Santa Clara, has done a very good year in 8 years in Santa Clara City Council, and also members of the San Jose Santa Clara Treatment Plant Advisory Committee members. Really appreciate you coming. I also introduced some of my colleagues at the City of San Jose, and my really honor to introduce my director, my big boss, Carl Mosher. And my immediate boss, Ron Gardner, Deputy Director. I think I saw our Assistant City Manager, Mark Linden, was here. Yes, Mark. And Deputy Director, Frank McFay. And all my colleagues in the City of San Jose, they all show up in here. My engineers and everybody, they show up tonight here to show my support. I want to introduce my sister, Jeanette Kwok, all the way from San Francisco, and also my sister-in-law, Rita. Rita, where are you? Rita Lam. And a lot of friends from the Chinese Historical and Cultural Projects are here. I cannot name them all, but there was at least 15 of those here tonight. Thank you very much for coming. And the city manager of Sunnyvale, Amy Chan, thanks for coming. And to my other friends, Larry Dean, he's the president of the Lafayette YMCA, and some of the board members, and along with, I think Cheryl Vargas was here, the executive director who was here before. And World Journal, who brought in beautiful flowers. They are in the lobby, and thanks, Peter, for the nicely flowers. Let me see, what else do I miss? And did I miss anything? Anybody? Yeah, you know, and all the friends and residents in Cupertino. Oh, and also commissioners and people from the Chamber of Commerce and the Rotaries. And once again, I want to just introduce the staff here: Ralph Kwok, David Knapp, Chuck Killian, and Kim Smith, and Rick Kisson, and Terry Smith, and Carol Outwood. Okay, and they've been very wonderful to help us in getting all the work done. But first and foremost, I just want to thank each and every one of you coming here this evening. Another year has passed, and once again we begin the transition from one year to another with the passing of the God here at the city of Cupertino, and I'm really excited and pleased by the turnout today. The fact that we drew so many people, not only for this ceremony, but in the government assemblies, means that the spirit of local government is still alive and well in Cupertino. People participate because they know their voices will be heard. People participate because they know that by manifesting their values, the council, they can provide council with the feedback necessary to perform the task council has to represent all the citizens of Cupertino and preserve the build upon this very, very special community that all we live. To my colleagues in the City Council, I salute you and thank you all for all you have done in the past years, and you are also dedicated public servants who have done a great job serving the people of Cupertino. These have not been easy years. We have faced greater challenges and overcome more obstacles than many previous councils. Most importantly, we have done it together. We have preserved, we have accomplished good things that will serve the future council members who shall follow us, but more importantly, the people we serve in Cupertino. When I joined the City Council about 3 years ago, and I look around in here, I was very, very privileged to have 3 former mayors. Mayor Dr. Michael Chan, Mayor Sandra James, and then Richard Lowenthal. These were the people with over 16 years of experience in Cupertino city government. They have been mentors to me and have taught me a lot. They warned me that serving on city council was not going to be easy, and they were right. It has been truly a very challenging 3 years. The recession has hammered our economic engine. Budget deficit at the state and county levels, government have left us trying to do the best and is providing the same level of services to our residents that they fully expect and well deserve. Budgets are value-driven. They are always filled with emotional arguments, whether it is investment or reduction. Nothing, however, is more difficult than choosing service reduction or budget reduction that we will all have negative impact to members of our community. We choose to serve primarily to increase the quality of life in Cupertino. Thanks to the voters for the passage of Proposition 1A, that will turn back the rating of tax revenue from local governments. We will still face very, very tough decisions over the next 3 years. There's a lot of there is no city well prepared to come out of recession than Cupertino. We have met our challenges by being stronger, greater, and more determined than ever. We are rapidly moving forward, building upon our successes and transferring Cupertino into a better city. Leaders lead. I know this council will show strong leadership as we make tough decisions today. We must plan for the future. We will not pass today's problems on to the future leaders. We will stay focused on issues and values we hold as a community. While I intend to cover the following issues in my upcoming State of the City address, I just want to introduce some of them this evening. I'm going to be very, very brief. First and foremost, I want to build confidence in our city by building trust. When Norman Mineta, now Secretary of State and former Mayor of the City of San Jose, some residents approached him and asked him to see the mayor, the highest position in city government. Norman responded that in city government, there is no position lower than the mayor. So, as the lowest ranked person in our city's government, I am asking my fellow council members support in the following areas. Number one, improve communication through better notification. We should announce each of the council meetings, the upcoming agendas, items that involve key issues, such as the land development, especially when it involves setback, density, and height exemptions. In addition to our annual community congress, I am going to have some town hall meetings to expand our current outreach programs, staying in touch with our residents. We should have study sessions in city council chambers held at 5 p.m. to maximize attendance and televise these sessions as much as possible. And I hope that these measures will improve our notifications and outreach to our people so that we can build further trust with our people. Secondly, I want to maximize residents' input in the general plan revision. The task force report that I think we spent about 9 months, and this is another one that I should give Mayor James credit, that we spent so much time, and we have 72 members representing all sectors of the community engaged 9 months in the report. And we should use that task force report as the framework in our amendment with the minority report carrying a lesser weight. And I believe that this approach represents the will of the majority of our people. With the exception of Valco and HP properties, they are currently under development agreement that supersedes the general plan. I am considering working very closely with Council not to grant any setback, density, and height exception until after the election of 2005. I want to set up some regular meetings with concerned citizens to clarify some of the issues. I want them to be included and not excluded. I'm willing to make myself accessible to every citizen. Finally, overall, I want to work with Council and staff to build a very, very strong community in Cupertino. This means that maintaining cultural events, open space, applying the smart growth approach to enhance retails and provide more affordable housing. Additionally, I want to keep the police officers on the streets and firefighters on the rigs. From a business perspective, I'm looking to work collaboratively with the Chamber of Commerce and other business organizations to increase retail with a focus on Valco Fashion Mall and HP property. Both are in the heart of the city. It has been said that businesses come where they are wanted and stay where they are appreciated. I will continue to lead the city effort to cut red tape and streamline regulations to help our businesses to bring them in and join them. And I'm very excited about the progress made at Valco area, including the new Dynasty restaurant, the 16 cinema screens, and the additional 137,000 square feet of retails in the Rose Bowl area, and the 6,400 square feet retails in the Mano Equity Development, in addition to 774 housing units. And if you multiply that by 15, you see there will be a lot of BNL. There will be around about 50 units, 50 BNL that will be open to Cupertino teachers and also workers. We will face many, many challenges ahead, but the city but that is the job of our city council, and with the support of a very strong and competent staff. We have to face these challenges and find solutions. Challenges are why we council members love our job. The challenge I love most is that our community rightly demands each year, and we try a little bit harder to reach our goals and to achieve the new goals. I'm very encouraged by the willingness of our council members, staff, and residents to tackle the new challenges and work together for solutions. Together, we can build a city that works for our next generation and a city we are all proud to call home. And once again, I want to thank for coming, and I look forward to work with you in the next year or so. And before I turn it to council for comments, I want to recognize Judge Ron Del Pozo, our Superior Court judge. Thanks for coming. And did I miss anybody? With that, I'm going to just turn it over to council for comments. And we'll start off with Dolly.
Hey, we've got these new buttons up here. It's hard to tell when it's push to mute or push to speak. Patrick, you, as you mentioned in your congratulatory remarks to Sandy, that you have some very big shoes to fill, and there's a lot of truth to that. While we have had our challenges over the last 12 months, and in fact the last 3 years on this council, the economy is still in flux. We have a state budget issue that we need to deal with here at the city level, but I am sure that you will fill those shoes and make us all proud. You and I met originally in 2001 as we were running for council together, and I must tell you that I've seen your leadership capabilities and your skills grow since then. I think this last year as the vice mayor, you've really expanded your horizons and kind of pushed yourself to that limit. So it's great to see you sitting in the mayor's seat. I wish you well, and I look forward to working with you over the coming year.
Thank you.
Well, Patrick has been a wonderful vice mayor, and he has always been there when I've asked him to fill in for me, and sometimes that's like on the spur of the moment. He does it ably and with a smile on his face. I think Patrick has worked very hard this year to prepare himself for mayor. We've spent a considerable amount of time together. He's asked for help and guidance and preparation, is some real insights into this community and to what being a mayor is all about. I'm excited for you, Patrick. I mean, I guess that's probably the most paramount feeling I have right now. I am delighted. I am excited. I've told you numerous times over the last few weeks you're going to be a great mayor, and I am going to be delighted to spend my last year on City Council with you as mayor. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great. Patrick, I'm going to steal Dolly's and Sandy's speech and put together is still not enough to say about you. I know Patrick 4 years ago, that was our former mayor Michael introduced us, I remember it was in February, very early time, and there, in order to introduce Patrick was our planning commissioner, but at that time he already said, I'm going to run for council. I was so touched, and I saw the determination there. I saw the passion in his heart. It just served the community. I was so admired, and thank you. Michael introduced us, and then in the early time, he declared the candidacy, and then I was lucky that I would be able to help in the campaign and all through the year, and I was honored to share the victory party, the victory being elected. In the first 2 years you served in council, that I've been watching you, and I saw it was so much that you have contributed to this community, and it's just amazing. I don't know how you can do that. Your passion leading you to go so far, and I was lucky last year to get elected and join you here. Throughout the whole time, in 4 years, I don't have even a bit of the hesitation to doubt about your ability or following you, through this time. I'm lucky. I'm really happy for you. I'm really I feel proud of it, like a part of your family. I really have to say that I feel like part of your family. I'm really proud of you and being our mayor, and I feel lucky that I have you as our new coming mayor and be the new leader. And wish you the best the next 1 year, and leading us and the community as well.
Thank you. Last but not least, Richard.
Well, I'm never least. I always go on and on, but I'll try to contain myself. Patrick did a dangerous thing when he ran for council a few years ago, something that we all do with some risk, which is to make a promise. Patrick did that, and I think probably against my advice and many others, because when you're a council member, you don't really have much power. I think you all have more power than we do. We can't get anything done unless we can convince 2 of our colleagues to do something. Otherwise, we're just sitting there saying, well, I think we should do it, but it doesn't mean anything. But Patrick promised the city a senior commission. It was the only promise he made. It's inadvisable to make promises when you're running. He made one, which was to promise a commission here for senior citizens so that they would have a voice in the council. And I don't know if you know about a commission, but a commission is our expert panel. The commission advises us on issues that we don't know as well as we should. Patrick, with passion, made that happen. Patrick, with passion, worked with the council. He inspired us to vote 5-0 in support of establishing a senior commission. It's not easy. It costs money to have a new commission. We don't have much of that. But Patrick follows through on what he promises. And it's a great sign of integrity. It may sound like a small thing, establishing a senior commission, but making a promise to the constituents and making a promise to the residents of Cupertino and following through is something that you ought to demand of your elected officials, and Patrick has done. So first, I'd like to congratulate him on that. The next thing about Patrick that I want to mention is he's a very busy fellow. Some of us have the luxury of having more free time than Patrick does. Patrick is raising 6 kids, and he's doing a fine job of it by the looks of them. Patrick contributes to his church. He's a regular reader at St. Joseph. Everybody at St. Joseph's knows Patrick. He gives his time. He asks nothing for it. And on top of that, he has a full-time job. Now, the council job is pretty tough. To do a good job like Patrick does takes about, I would say, 20 hours a week. So in addition to that, he has a full-time job working for the city of San Jose, and he raised 6 kids, and he contributes to his church, not with money, but with time, which is much more dear. And you still do a splendid job as a council member, Patrick, so thank you very much for that. It's not easy. You know, Patrick is our future. He's going to lead us all, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited about our future, and I am excited about tomorrow. And I want to be the first one to introduce you to the Honorable Mayor of the City of Cupertino, Patrick Kwok. Feels so good to say that, Patrick. As somebody else mentioned, Patrick had a steep learning curve. He came into this, as we all do, with no training. There is no instruction booklet to how to do this job. And those of you that have babies or have kids, remember what it's like when you bring home your child. And there is no instruction booklet. And they cry, and they do things you have to take care of, and they need to be fed. And there is nobody that tells you how to do it. There's no booklet. When the kid comes home. And the council job's the same, and Patrick has adopted and learned and grown and impressed us all with his leadership capabilities and his ability to pick up this job and do it with excellence. I'm going to fully back and support my friend Patrick in his year as mayor, and I look forward to helping him with his agenda. I'm going to be a good team member, Patrick, on your team. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm really excited about what we're going to do this coming year. It's going to be exciting. There'll be something new every day. And I'm thrilled to be part of this team, and I want to say thank you to my colleagues. I think I work with some of the finest people in the city, definitely some of the finest people I know, not only the staff, but my council colleagues and Patrick make this job a pleasure. It's a challenging job and an interesting job, and I'm thrilled to be part of the team and honored once again that you elected me so that I can serve with Patrick and his team this coming year. So I'm looking forward to a wonderful 2004 and 2005, and Patrick, welcome.
Thank you very, very much for the warm welcome. And I think tonight I said enough thank you, so I'm going to open it for public comments. Any? Oh.
Good evening. My name is Gilbert Wong, and I'm here representing the Cupertino Chamber of Commerce, Honorable Patrick Kwok. The Chamber would like to welcome you as our new mayor, and also to be a good listener and bridging the business community with the residents of Cupertino. On a personal note, I also want to say congratulations. I think that being on the Planning Commission, showing leadership on the Planning Commission, on the City Council, and now as mayor, you'll be filling in some really tough shoes. We have 4 wonderful past mayors here, former Mayor Sandy James, Richard Lowenthal, Barbara Rogers, and Dr. Michael Chang, and I wish you a successful year. And on behalf, this is a small gift for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Mark McKenna. Before I take off my chamber hat, I want to notice Cupertino Florist by Cupertino. I'm representing the Cupertino Historical Society, and in the coming year, we've got a lot of work in front of us, Patrick, and we're looking forward to working with you. Thank you for your support in the past.
Thank you.
I want to first thank Mayor James for all her accomplishments, and they've been enumerated ad infinitum tonight, and they're well deserved. And then I would like to congratulate Patrick and offer him my best wishes. We know that you have big shoes to fill, but I think you've already begun to wear them very comfortably. Mm-hmm. In fact, you've probably broken them in very well, and you're well on your way. I got to know Patrick when I got involved in Cupertino. You know, I never did get involved in Cupertino's business in the task force, and then also as a senior commissioner. So in the past year, I got to know Patrick a little better. And you know the way the commission works, we get issues brought before us, and there was one big issue that came before us, the case management. And when we discussed it, we never know what's going to happen to it. We just send the recommendations up to the city council. But I always felt that we have somebody on our side for seniors on the city council. And Richard just said that Patrick was instrumental in forming the Senior Citizens Commission. I didn't know he was the driving force behind it, but it all makes sense now. We always felt, as the commission, the Senior Citizens Commission, that we had some good friends on the City Council, and most of all, Patrick. So I want to wish you all the best, Patrick, for being a friend of seniors, and we know that you will always have a senior support in whatever you want to do. Just let us know. I know I've been watching since I got involved in Cupertino's business. I've been watching council meetings late at night, and during the deliberations, I always notice that Patrick first started out tentatively, but then he got stronger and stronger, and he always offered a fresh perspective on the discussions. Mm-hmm. You know, and so I'm always waiting for Patrick's input in those discussions and deliberations. So again, best wishes and congratulations and all the best. I'm sure you're going to become a great mayor of Cupertino and lead us to bigger and better things for the citizens of Cupertino.
Thank you, Frank.
Yeah.
Good evening. I'm Chris Kennedy Pierce, and along with Frank Yap and 3 other commissioners, we are the inaugural senior commission for the city of Cupertino. And during the interviews, when we were being considered for the position, Patrick posed the question to me, what would you do to help our city be more of a big, happy family? Mm-hmm. And my response was, well, I don't know any family that's completely happy, much less a big one. So, but the reality of the steps that are being taken in our city with the opening of Cali Mills Plaza, the work done in Ms. James' time as mayor, and now that you're inheriting, that we are turning and becoming more of a there. Being at Cali Mills Plaza really feels like Cupertino has a there. And one can walk to the city library and hang out, and all generations. And it's just wonderful to feel that tide that's changing here. My position on the commission is one of wanting to help with intergenerational growth for the city. And I'm glad that City Manager Knapp has spoken to the new head of De Anza College about ways that they can facilitate some of the learning that we at the Senior Commission want to do as your youngest commission, and as we're wanting to learn more about what is here for our seniors and what we can help grow for the seniors to come. So thank you for what you've begun, and I look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Anna Wang. I'm the current president of Friends of Children with Special Needs. And Friends of Children with Special Needs also have several local programs in this area in Cupertino. And it's my honor to know Patrick and to know that, his compassion for the community, all the things that he is involved in the community, and also his compassion for children. Of course, he has 6 of his own, and he also is very compassionate for the special needs community, and has been helping us with Friends of Children with Special Needs. And I'm very honored to know Patrick and to learn from him how to do organized work. And I'm sure Patrick will be one of the best mayors of Cupertino, and I'm here to show my appreciation for his love and compassion for the community and children. And we have special needs children also, just like Sandra, is supporting the special needs community, and so is Patrick, and I'm so glad that we have such wonderful mayors in Cupertino. So,
Thank you.
I would like to present some flowers to Patrick.
Hello, Patrick, City Council. I'm Arthur Lowe. I represent the Chinese Historical and Cultural Project, and Patrick and I have worked together on the board of this organization for about 10 years now. And when you became elected to the City Council, we let you off the hook and let you get off the board and gave you a title of Board of Trustees, and just put you off to the side. But when we had our gala a couple years ago, you were the one that was right there to help fundraise for the event and make it a success. And then last year when we had, earlier this year when we had the Chinese Summer Festival, you were right there with you and your family selling dim sum to the attendees. So we really appreciate your hard work. I don't know how you find the time to do it, but we appreciate your efforts. We're very proud of you, and wish you the best of luck in the coming year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Lowe.
Patrick, just to say welcome as our mayor. We are so proud that you've come as mayor to the city. And also thank you for all the support in the past and your friendship. And I, on behalf of the community, wish to say that you have all our support all the time, and we are by your side. Thank you very much.
My name is Diana Wu. I'm here today as a private citizen. I just want to share with you a very short, small story. I walk in the neighborhood with my husband very often, and one evening I met him walking with his wife in the neighborhood, and we stopped them and then started talking. He just took the time and listened very carefully. We brought up an issue about the traffic in the school area, and he said, well, if you have any concern, or even better, if you have any solution, just come to our city council meeting. He said, the council certainly would be happy to hear from the citizen. So I am here to testify. Patrick is not just a mayor or city member inside the council chamber or in the city hall. He is also a council member in the neighborhood. Thank you. So I'm sure you will be a wonderful mayor for the following year, and I look forward to seeing you more in the neighborhood.
Thank you, Diane.
Hello, Mayor Kwok. How are you? My name is Evan Lowe. First met Patrick, Mayor Kwok, while at De Anza College, and he was one of the guest speakers for one of our courses and programs. And the topic was politics and leadership. And for the youth and the generations, it's so important, it's so critical to hear from our leaders today, because there's a next generation, and we need persons like yourself, Mayor Kwok, to be there to show us the ropes, and hopefully we can follow in your footsteps as well. And so again, I congratulate you on your mayorship, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Larry Dean. I'm the board chair of the Northwest YMCA. And I'm here on behalf of the YMCA. Patrick and I have worked together with the board for 3 or 4 years. And like Cupertino, our YMCA reflects the diversity of our community and impacts well over 25 to 30% of our residents here in the community, with its daycare, with its camps and membership programs. And under Patrick, under your leadership, we've recognized that diversity is a real key element to our YMCA. And Patrick has led our diversity initiatives and committees, and successfully has made sure that we reach out to all of our constituents in the community to make for a better Cupertino. So on behalf of our board, I'd like to wish you the best of luck, and look forward to a year where we can continue to make Cupertino a better place for all of our citizens.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
Hi, Patrick. 4 years ago, when I was a visiting scholar at Stanford, Cupertino is my favorite city to come to. And today I'm a diplomat representing Taiwan, and also your sister city, Hsinchu City. We are brothers and sisters. We are great partners. So in the coming year, we will working with you together, hand in hand and shoulder by shoulder, marching toward a much better tomorrow for all. And we are proud of you, Patrick. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Mayor Kwok, on behalf of your colleagues and peers at the San Jose Santa Clara Water Pollution Plant, we congratulate you. We honor you by our presence here tonight, and we wish you the best of luck as the mayor of Cupertino. We have one word of advice for you, however, and that is don't forget your day job.
Thank you, Kwok.
Good evening, members of the council and Dad. It gives me great pleasure on behalf of our entire family to come up here and say a few words about you. I think usually it's the parents who are bragging about their children, but lately I find that I cannot stop bragging about you. Our family is so incredibly proud of what you've achieved and where you've come so far. But I don't think a lot of us were really that surprised, because we know that with your determination, your integrity, your passion, that you can achieve so many things, and becoming mayor is just one of these great achievements. I think that a lot of people here probably know you as Councilmember Kwok, as a colleague, as a friend, but those who have really gotten to know you as an advisor, a mentor, a teacher, a confidant, and I think everyone in our family knows you as all of those things, in addition to being an incredibly loving father. And I truly admire the fact that you are the same person sitting up there as you are sitting at our dinner table. You're the same person. You wear your emotions on your sleeves. You treat every single person with the same amount of respect, and I truly admire that. As some people have mentioned, it is quite a sacrifice to have an elected official in your family, and we've made sacrifices these years in terms of the time away from your family, but I want to tell you that we are okay with that. For one, You have really taught us the strong foundation of a good family, and many of us have started our own families. And number two, when you're off slipping away from some of our family events, or when you're making a cameo appearance in between your full-time job where you're slipping into dinner and slipping out before my mom can even turn around and know that you're home, we know that you're out doing great things. We know you're out making good decisions with the rest of your council members. You are out making an impact on people's lives and leaving your footprint in the sand. So I wanted to say again that we are so proud of you. Thank you for being such an inspiration for all of us. And in closing, if you are half as good as mayor as you are a father, I know that you're going to do a wonderful job.
Thank you,
Thank
Candace.
you.
Hi. Wow, I can't top that speech. I'm Ken Kwok. I'm Patrick's mysterious son. I'm not a resident of Cupertino. I'm a resident of Los Angeles County. And I must say, every time I come here, I'm just so incredibly impressed by the city you run. It's just so well put together, so efficient. People really care. I mean, I wish that kind of care was from where I came from. I hope this isn't broadcast in Los Angeles. They're not hearing me. But I just want to say, you know, you have huge shoes to fill. I'm so impressed by everything that's been said about you tonight, Sandra. And but I'm very, very confident that you can pull it off, Dad. He's always taught us our whole lives that with hard work, dedication, perseverance, anything can be accomplished. And you've done that tonight. And it's really an honor to be your son. And we're very proud of you.
Thank you, Ken.
Good evening. Hi, my name is Amy Chan. I'm the city manager for City of Sunnyvale. I'm here tonight on behalf of our council and Mayor Chu to offer you, Mayor Kwok, our congratulations and best wishes for you. And on behalf of our city, we look forward to working with this council. Certainly, you know, my colleagues, Dave, I thank you for all of your support of me in the past. And for our two cities, we look forward to building a stronger sister city relationship with you. So congratulations.
Thank you, Amy.
Patrick, I'm very happy that you're going to be our mayor. I'm very impressed that you're being so supportive for the city of Cupertino. And I know that you're a good father and you're a good person. And I'm happy that you're our mayor. And I'm looking forward to, I hope that you, through the years that you supported your family and supported our community and Cupertino, and you've been such a strong, you're so respectful, you're such a great person. And it's great to maybe get to know you, and I'm glad that you're finally supporting the community of Cupertino. And I hope and look forward to get to know you, and I hope in the future that I'm so glad that you're helping our city Cupertino, and I'm very proud of you for doing a wonderful job, and congratulations on being our mayor, and I'm very proud of you, and I'm very impressed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jose Esteves from the city of Milpitas. First, I want to go back and congratulate Honorable Sandra James. I heard a lot of good things about Milpitas, about Cupertino. And yes, tonight it reaffirmed the whole thing. So I want to congratulate you for that. Of course, the city council, because you work as a team, and city staff, and the people of Cupertino. Congratulations for a great year. Now for Patrick, everybody talk about Patrick inside Cupertino, his family, but I want to talk about him outside of Cupertino. You may not know that Patrick and I are members of various county commissions. One is the Solid Waste Commission. He's the vice chair. And the Water Commission, I think he was a vice chair too. And we even go to Sacramento for League of Cities, and we carpool because we want to save gas, right? And on the way, we're able to talk about great things, about how we serve our people, how we serve our own respective cities. So I know Patrick, he has the passion for community service, he has the dedication and sincerity. So with that, I congratulate the city of Cupertino for having Patrick.
congratulations to you and to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Estevez. Hi.
Hi, Patrick. I'm really proud of you. And I wanted to say tonight we see torch passing from a great leader to another leader. I think Patrick is going to be a wonderful mayor, to be the friend of the whole city. And I congratulate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the nice words, and I really appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to serve the community and get to know our communities and all the friends that show up here tonight, and all the friends in Cupertino, all the friends in St. Joseph of Cupertino Church, YMCA, and Chinese Historical Culture Project. And one of the things that I forgot to mention is that the nice couple sitting out over there in the corner, they are the presidents of the Hong Kong Student Associations, and I really welcome you to come in here tonight. And with that, I think we close the public comments, and we have one other items that need to be done, which is item number 16. The new mayor opens nomination for the vice mayor.
I would like to take the honor to nominate Richard Lowenthal to be our new vice mayor.
I second it.
Is there any other nominations? May I have a motion to close
Could we, oh, if you'd like to close the nominations.
Could we have a motion to close the nominations?
So move.
Okay, nomination is closed. Want some discussion?
I would like to comment, if I may. It seems like yesterday that I was mayor, and I was proud to be mayor, and had a great amount of fun and honor being in that seat. And I am certainly flattered to be nominated again tonight. I appreciate the confidence you've shown in me. I think it's not my turn. I'm not in any hurry. I could give somebody else a chance. So in that regard, I'm going to vote against the motion tonight. But as always, I will stand by the council's vote. There have been many times where I voted and the council didn't agree with me. And I pride myself on supporting the democratic process. And if you vote for me, I will serve. And I will serve with enthusiasm and with dedication and do my best to be a good vice mayor to you, Patrick. Again, I don't mind losing this vote if I do. And I'm certainly flattered to be nominated. Thank you.
Okay, with that, can you vote by light, please?
I don't think we can.
We don't have.
I don't think we
Okay.
can vote by light,
Yes.
don't we?
At this time, we're going to vote by voice or by
Okay.
raising your hand. Since we've changed some seats, we haven't
Right.
reprogrammed the computers yet.
All right, okay. Could
Yeah,
you roll call,
Patrick,
please?
Patrick, any other discussion on that?
Could you want some discussion?
Sure. We had a lengthy discussion last meeting that seemed to leave a couple of things up in the air on the progression of the vice mayoral succession. And at that time, several comments were made by a number of community members. Some representatives of the chamber came up and made personal comments after also speaking on behalf of the chamber position, that seniority should count to some degree when you're choosing a vice mayor. I also think that when we have a discussion like that at, I think, midnight, and people are tired and we don't revisit that discussion, perhaps, that we don't know fully what those unintended consequences are. So, Richard, in your acceptance of the nomination but desire to not be mayor, I will vote no against you, not because I don't think you would be an ineffective vice mayor.
I still love you, Dolly.
But I just am going to vote from what I heard your desire was, particularly in light of your comments of it's not, in your feeling, your time to be vice mayor.
Okay. Any other comments?
Nope.
Do I have to ask public comments on this one here, Chuck?
Wouldn't hurt.
Briefly.
Okay. Any public comments? Seeing none, we close the public comments and call for vote, please.
How do you want to do this, Kim, by voice or?
Yeah, well, why don't we do it by a raise of hands, then the whole audience can see. So may I see the hands of those voting aye for Councilmember Lowenthal for Vice Mayor? And the ayes are Sandra, James, Patrick, Kwok, Chris Swang. And the noes are Dolly Sandoval and Richard Lowenthal. So may I introduce the new Vice Mayor?
Thank you.
Richard Lowenthal.
Congratulations. Okay. I don't think we'll ask each of the
He gets sworn in.
members. Okay, the next one is the sworn in by City Clerk.
Which X?
One of those X's.
We don't practice this, so forgive me if I mess it up.
Raise your right hand, please. Repeat after me. I, Richard Lowenthal,
I, Richard Lowenthal,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to uphold the Constitution of the United States of California
to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America and the state of California.
That's my fault entirely. I thought I had it memorized.
Okay.
Let me start you over. Do you solemnly swear
I, Richard Lowenthal, solemnly swear
to support and defend the Constitution of the United States
to support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the state of California,
that you will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the state of California,
that you take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that you will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
upon
which you are about to enter
upon which I am about to enter
for the city of Cupertino.
for the city of Cupertino.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Vice Mayor Lowenthal. Okay, I think the one last items on the agenda is oral communications. And this portion of the meeting is reserved for persons wishing to address the council on any matter not on the agenda. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. In most cases, state law will prohibit the council from making any decisions with respect to a matter not listed on the agenda. Are there any oral communications? Seeing none, first time I use a gov. Announce the meeting to adjourn to December the 7th, and we have a light reception follow. Thank you very much for coming, and good night.